Hiya, welcome back to Mulberry Junction. I got a delivery yesterday in post, some DAS modelling clay. What I'm going to use it for is inside the engine shed on the depot, just to make a concrete base, and hopefully be able to add lights in and maybe a walkway in there, so that sort of stuff inside the depot, just to give it a little bit more detailing. The other thing that I'm going to make a start on today is going to be the ballasting of the track. It's I suppose most modelers don't really enjoy, because it's time consuming and a bit tedious, a little bit boring, to be fair. It is a bit boring, but I'm at that stage now, I guess, where it does need to be done. But the first thing, like, it'll be doing the concrete base in the shed, making a start on that. I'm just going to put this on pause for a moment. This is the Pico shed where I'll be working today, putting the clay down. It just clips onto the track, so all I need to do is literally just lift it up and just move it out of the way. Just put it out of the way for the time being. So the clay will just be going in this area here, just around there. Be level with rails either side, and just filling in where the sleepers are. What I've just done, I've just marked out where the clay will be going in, so I don't go over the border area. I'm not actually going to film me putting the clay down because it's a bit messy, and I don't want to get the clay on my camera. So I'm going to make a start now doing the clay. Once I've done it, I'll start the camera again and show you what I've done. Okay, so I've just finished putting the clay down for the hard standing inside the shed area. I've already tested the shed to make sure it still fits, which it does. Still clips on. I'll just show you that now. So the shed still clips into place with no problems. The next part that I'm going to be doing is the ballasting. I'll show you a small section of me doing it, but it does take a long time, so it's probably going to be too long really to do a video just doing ballasting. But like I say, I'll show a small section that I'm going to be doing for you, so you can see that. Just put the shed back over there, out of the way. Once the clay is actually dry, I am going to sand over it. These are a couple of little blemishes in places. How I made the grooves, I've had a bit of plastic card, which is this, just a old bit of plastic card, and I just went over it with the corner, same on there, and other way going down on the sides of the rails. Hopefully the flanges won't touch the sides. I think it's deep enough. I'll be able to go over it anyway with a file if it is a little bit too thin, once the clay's dried. But fingers crossed it'll be right size. Like I say, all I need to do is just sand it down a bit more smooth once it's all dried properly, and then paint it up. So next bit is going to be the ballasting. So I'll just put the camera on pause. the clay's still drying on the depot area, so like I said earlier in the video, I'm going to be doing a bit of ballast and I'll show you how I do it. I've actually got 3 types of ballast. I've got a Jarvis light brown one, Woodland Scenics very fine one, which it actually says it's medium ballast. Both of these two are brown coloured, but to me the medium brown with Woodland Scenics is a fine ballast. And I've also got a Jarvis bulk bag of grey ballast. That's pretty heavy. How I'm going to use it, the brown ballasts I'm going to use in the station area, and work it into the depot a bit, but the depot and the main line out of the station is going to be the grey sort. To me, how I feel how the ballast would work is that the main line would be a little bit cleaner, slow cause out, stood still, dripping oil, or units dripping oil and brake dust, all that sort of stuff that you get in a station area. So that's why I'm using the grey colour on the main line after the station area, and the browner ballasts in the station area. So it's more of a weathered look. I think that's the best way to describe it. I'll show you a little bit of how I do it as well now. So I'll just put this on pause while I move the camera over to the station area where I'm going to make a start. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to mix 2 ballasts, the Jarvis brown and the Woodland Scenics brown. I'm just using an old biscuit tin, just to mix them together in. So that's the Jarvis brown. Then I'm going to add the medium brown from Woodland Scenics. You can see the difference in the size of the grain. Mix them both together. So then they're mixed together now. So the next bit that I do, I'll just move this slightly out of the way, just turn the camera around. So there's my track. Just move camera again slightly. There we go. So let's do this on platform 3. Literally just get a small handful of the ballast, and then just let it go onto the track, fairly light and even. The next step, just move this out where the tin. Next step that I do when I'm doing my ballasting is I'll just use a brush and tamp it down. Just here, the brush. So all I need to, I'll just sweep these off of the platform edge. So just an old brush, and all I do is just spread it out. Brushing excess onto the track from the platform. So that's basically all I do, is just tamp it down with the brush and spread it down the rails. Okay, so I'm just going to put a bit more ballast down where the buffer stop is now. In case you were wondering, I've just had something to eat. So it was time for me tea. Same again, just lightly putting it down. Same again, all I do is just tamp it down with paintbrush. So sit there a little bit. Excuse me. Right. Just see if this will fit in this area. All it is, it's just the end of the platform. Yeah, it still fits. Just a little bit more. That's out of the way now. Sprinkle a little bit more ink on there. how I like to get it is so you can see the sleepers but you can't see the baseboard. So that's basically how I do the ballasting. Once it's all in place for the entire layout, I use a 50-50 mix of PVA glue and water. Also a little tiny drop of washing up liquid. Washing up liquid, all that's there for is just to break the surface tension. But I might show you that in another video. But there's a lot to do with layout. Even though it's a smallish scenic area, there is still quite a bit to do. So yeah, that's how I do the ballasting. I'm just going to put the camera on pause again. I just thought this might be a good point for you to join me again with the ballasting. I do the twin track the same way as I did the single track, just spreading it on gently and quite light. So it's basically the same method, no different. Just the same, just brushing it out. It's all the same. I like to see the sleepers if I can. Another method that I saw somebody do, rather than using the PVA and water mix, they used a little bit of thinners on the track to start with, just to get it slightly damp, and then they just sprayed it with varnish. That's how I do my scenery. I use varnish for my scenery. I've not used it on my track, but it is another way around it. So you keep all your ballast together. So that may be worth considering. I think though, the thing with, if you do use the varnish, it's a lot more permanent. You can't remove it, the ballast from the track. Because some people like to reuse the track if they do new layouts. So it'd be pretty much impossible if you did use the varnish on the tracks. With PVA, if you ever need to get your track up again, all you need to do is just have some warm water, and you just let it soak into your ballast, and then just lift the track up. So this is basically how I do the twin tracks, same as the single line. So the station's nearly done now. So I'll just put the camera on pause again while I do a little bit more. So I've got as far as the point. I don't really treat points any differently to the normal track, apart from doing it a lot lighter on the tie bar, like the moving part to switch the points. so that bit will do a little bit lighter than the rest. Sort of almost avoiding it, but not quite. I always try and brush it away from the moving part with a point. Some does get stuck inside, but that's not to worry about as long as you clear it before you actually glue the track. So just make sure that you clear any debris before gluing the ballast down to the track. Just give it a quick test, make sure it still works. So yeah, it still works. That's why it's got a slight little bit in there with ballast. Oh, just use my brush to brush it out. Let's see if I've got it. Yeah. So once you've tested it, you know your point still works, and then you can carry on with the rest of the layout. So majority layout's done now with ballasting, down from station area right up to depot area. So that area just there, behind that small building on curve, I'm going to have a bridge there and use that as a scenic break. The clay's still not fully dry yet, but it's fairly close to being dry. So I've just put in the walkway where it's going to roughly be. Thinking about having it on the line nearest to the fueling point there. The other line will just be a normal inspection pit for adding oil, sand and that sort of stuff, screen wash and things like that. Just move that 47 out of the way a little bit. So engine shed should still fit. Fuel tank, I've got a Pico fuel tank. Just moving that away. Need to tidy up layout eventually, it's a bit messy at the moment. I think we'll have the fuel tank at the end of the line there. This road here where the 47 is, that's going to be the fuel unloading area. Yeah, and the tanks just go at the end. I hope you've enjoyed today's video with me doing the ballasting. Like I said, it is a bit of a boring thing to do, but it does make the layout look a lot better once it's done. Hopefully pretty soon my new Class 91 will be here from Kerno Model Rail Centre, so I'll have that whizzing around layout. Only on the outside line though, because I've not cleaned the track up yet on the inside line. That loco that I've just had was 87001 Stevenson / Royal Scot. It's the Hornby dual named as preserved version, which I got from Hatton's at bargain price, which was £99 plus postage. It's a lovely model, is that one. If you've not got one of the Hornby 87s, I'd recommend getting them. They are really nice. It's all super detailed, heavier chassis and what have you, like the old railroad range, which even then they were still really good models, which I think from the old Lima Class 87, the Hornby Railroad Range 87 I guess now. So I've still got to glue ballast down and, like I say, get this Class 91 from Kerno. Still to paint the 89 body, later in the week hopefully if I get a chance. But I've got a lot of tidying up to do now in my model railway room in loft. It is pretty messy at the minute. It's had a fair few deliveries, so there's a lot of cardboard boxes kicking around, and the odd bits of ballast that actually need sorting out on layout, just brushing it away or onto the actual layout, onto the track again, just to neaten it all up. Still one or two little bits and bats to do with the ballasting as well before I do glue it down, just making it a little bit neater here and there, but yeah, I'm overall happy with the result that I've got now. So this is end of this video for today. Hope you've enjoyed it, and hope it's given you some inspiration. Please feel free to make a comment. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, and click like on notifications and stuff for more uploads. Like I say, I've still got a lot to do, so there'll be a lot more videos to come. So thanks for watching, and bye for now. Ta-da!